Elden Ring shall be the first truly open-world Souls game, but that concept is not entirely alien to the series. Many Souls games have strived for having at least partially interconnected worlds for the players to explore. This has gone a long way into cultivating an appreciation of believable and exciting transitions between areas within Souls players. Having the world space be more than a string of levels allows for greater depth in environmental storytelling. Items distinct to one area could be found in another. Locations could be shown to have, or had, direct interactions through the landscape and objects, etc. It also helps to facilitate exploration as it sets the expectation that there could be more to the world than you know. The way shortcuts function in the Souls series has become a widely praised feature, rewarding those who risk extra traversal with a path back to safety. It is no exaggeration to say that this openness in design philosophy is part of what allows systems like respawning enemies and Estus to function so well in the series. Out of all the Souls games, if I was asked which one was my favourite, it would be a toss-up between Dark Souls 1 and 3. Dark Souls 3 has such a great collection of weapons, gear, spells and mechanics, as well as some of the best boss battles I've ever played, but something it lacks in comparison to Dark Souls is its non-linearity. By no means is Dark Souls 3 simply a point A to B game. You can fight some bosses out of order, and other areas can be explored at will, but ultimately the path to the end is extremely similar on multiple run-throughs for the majority of the game. As much as I liked all the options Dark Souls 3 has, the unfortunate truth is that most of this comes near the end game when you have access to all elements of the build you want. At the start of Souls 3, I know I'm always going to have to pull from the same selection of early game gear and choose whether to beat Dancer early or not. On the other hand, in Dark Souls 1, you can go to New Londo, the Undead Burg, the Catacombs, Blighttown, Darkroot Basin, and even the Undead Asylum if you so desire. Many of these paths may not be where the developers expect you to explore first, but in Souls 1, they also don't stop you from doing so. If you have a cool idea for a build, you can more than likely get at least part of it started from the get-go of Dark Souls 1. It helps that in this game, they weren't afraid of scattering good gear across all areas equally, such as the Zweihander, the Grass Crest Shield, and the Red Tearstone Ring. Out of all the Souls games, Elden Ring seems to be most similar to Dark Souls 1, and I look forward to seeing what it takes on and improves. Elden Ring should be the first true successor to the masterfully crafted, interconnected world of Dark Souls, but on a much larger scale. We are getting 6 open worlds, which whilst aren't all accessible at the start, I imagine once we have played the game for a bit, we'll know how to get to whichever we desire pretty fast. Of course, I have no intentions of rushing my first playthrough. What a great opportunity to get lost in a new and complex world. I am interested to see if there are actions we can take in one world that affect another, or if beating the demigod of a world leads to the others changing their defences, Mega Man X styled stuff. But as far as I'm aware, we haven't heard of such a system for Elden Ring yet. What we do know is how the open world will have dynamic elements such as enemies and neutral parties roaming around the landscape. This will no doubt create some memorable emergent encounters. I can imagine picking a fight with a large horde, only to have an elite knight approach down my escape route from a cave. Regardless, it is good to hear that we're getting the more elaborately detailed areas as seen in past games for this title alongside the 6 open worlds. I don't know how many exactly, but I would imagine that these will take the forms of areas like the dungeon and university from the trailer. With all of this, as well as all the customization options, Elden Ring is sounding like a massive game. We also know that hubs are back. This series always does such a great job with hub areas. They're always changing over time, and they are always having secrets to discover. Part of what makes the hubs so effective for me is that they're the one place in the game that gives off a feeling of home and belonging for the dangerous world. In Dark Souls 1 especially, laying your eyes on Firelink Shrine after a long journey into the unknown is a feeling you will never forget. I imagine the Elden Ring hub will function more like Demon Souls in how it is separate from the main areas, but hopefully it will live up to standards set in the past. Interviews have revealed that the player will be able to craft items out in the field. I do not know to what extent we will be able to craft. Are there some special weapons that must be forged by the player? Maybe blacksmiths are no longer used to upgrade weapons, as the player can do so whenever. At the very least, it seems we will be able to craft healing and buff items like life stones and blooming moss. Admittedly, having craftable healing worries me a bit. Original Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2 had very abusable healing sources, but we will have to wait and see. Whilst we are still unsure of what exactly that trailer footage of a campfire means, I really hope it is the revival of craftable bonfires. This is such a great mechanic for a game where you're exploring large unknown worlds. When the harder monsters of the night start to spawn, perhaps this is how you can skip to the next day, unless you want to get their rare drops from them like me. Maybe, just maybe, the talk of craftable healing items was implying Dark Souls 3 styled Estus crafting. If this is the case, then there is still a set amount of heals that can be found and crafted, and perhaps resting at the campfire is how you replenish them. Elden Ring is truly shaping up to be the best Souls game yet. With all the customization options, crafting, and explorative freedom, it seems almost too good to be true. My major concern with everything we have heard is if this game will suffer from an Anor Londo effect. That being that in Dark Souls 1, the areas before Anor Londo had a fantastically balanced difficulty curve, but after that, everything middled around the same challenge level, which caused the latter half to feel rather deflated. I trust that From Software wouldn't do that a second time. Besides, unlike in Souls 1, I think these 6 worlds will have a sequential line of progression, all the way to the end, meaning that if played in order, the challenge should always rise. Ultimately, we can't be sure of anything until we get our next glimpse at the game. What are your thoughts on Elden Ring going open world? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. I hope you have a great day, and see you next time.